90% of world trade is carried by shipping.
Transportation by sea is the most efficient way of transportation.
About 20% of all goods which are carried by Greek ships, which, you know, for a small midget country like ours is quite a big achievement.
Shipping carries 90% of the global freight, and it accounts less than 3% of carbon dioxide emissions.
I need to be focused on building the interviews. And also to discuss that we don't want to get too much technical. We want to make something that is broad, clear, and simple.
We're pretty close. We should be there in 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
Τι κάνετε?
Χαρικοπολιτάς δεν δίνουμε, έτσι, να
Καλά
σας
είστε?
Καλά, εσείς.
Hi,
Καλημέρα, hi.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Mikael from
Hi.
Portugal.
Nice to meet you.
And
And João, also from Portugal.
Sure, hi. Today we own about 90 ships, which are of various types: bulk carriers, refrigerated ships, tankers. In addition to that, we are strongly involved in the hospitality business. We are the major shareholders in Aegean Airlines, which is Greece's national carrier. But our main business and our main interest is shipping. We are like the taxi drivers of the world.
You have to consider ship owners as the lorry drivers.
The ship owners don't build ships, don't manufacture engines, do not produce bunkers themselves, and they don't actually trade them vessels themselves. They charter it out.
Do you ask the lorry driver to improve his engine, to modify, or to have a small refinery on board in order to improve the fuel?
The most strongest one in the market are the Chinese now.
No,
No?
no, no,
Maybe the cheapest one.
but not the best.
The best
No.
are the Japanese.
The best are the Japanese, then the Koreans, then the Chinese. Some shipping sectors like our own, we are dealing with relatively low technology vessels. And in the low technology vessels, these must be built in series. It's not easy for a small owner to make changes which will improve the emissions reduction technology for the vessels.
Now you have discovered black carbon and you think black carbon is going to save the world. No. The real problem, the scientists will tell you, is the CO2. This is causing the global warming. The other greenhouse gases are minor byproducts in minor quantities. The financial burden of using gas oil instead of fuel oil, yes, it would be better, but it's not value for money.
Once we see that black carbon is damaging overall, maybe the solution is to say we have to put appropriate filters in the stack to keep the black carbon from getting into the atmosphere.
We introduced the plan to discharge here, because from here onwards you don't need special ships. You can do almost ordinary ships. 2 reloading facilities, ship to ship, and they continue.
More or less in days of journey. How many days?
15 instead of 35. To go immediately to diesel by changing huge parts of the engine, pumps, valves, the systems, might be possible. But instead of doing that, they opted for the high sulfur and low sulfur solution. This, in my opinion, was a mistake, a grave mistake. An industry that is suffering for a terrible market to say now change again your engines to burn only diesel. You'll see everybody in bankruptcy. The useful life of the ships is 20 years. Within these 20 years, the last ship will be scrapped with the old technology, and all the technology will be renewed. You must have a long-term planning. These things cannot be done from today to tomorrow.
This bunker fuel is the last part that comes out of a refinery process. That last part, either you throw away somewhere, or you give it to ships to burn, or you can make it into tar for roads.
If we go back historically, I'm talking about the 50s and 60s, we were actually burning distillate fuels, or almost distillate fuels. And as the oil industry developed heavier and heavier fuels, it was realized that the marine engines could burn these heavier fuels. These fuels were introduced into our business.
Because?
Because of the cost.
At that time, there was no climate change concerns and no so intense concerns on human health.
Yes, that's correct.
Overnight measure from day 1 to day 2 is reduction of speed. Reduction of speed reduces by half all emissions, CO2, particulates. Why? Because you reduce by half the total fuel that you are consuming.
If the world trade expands, we need more ships, we need more bankers. We need, at the end of the day, ships will produce more CO2.
The shipping industry is not well understood by the EU.
Shipping is an international business, therefore it has to be regulated internationally. There is a quotation by Mrs. von der Leyen, very recent one, when the reconstruction package was debated, and the discussion was where will this money come from? And this lady shamelessly has said, well, we will tax people and we will tax also shipping. Okay, so here you are.
People tend not to appreciate what shipping does to their own standards of living. The reason that we have a very cheap Japanese or Taiwanese or Korean TV set or refrigerator in our house is part also of the cost efficiency of shipping. The transportation cost is minimal, but this is not understood by the public. They take it for granted.
Every country is going to IMO protecting also their industries and their interest. It's natural and it's a fact.
There is opinion, including some scientists, stating that the Greek delegation of the IMO is mostly trying to block new regulations for the environment and pushing for delays. Do you think there is such a case?
Do you know of any industry that likes to speed up and promote new regulations? I think there is hardly no such business.
The major environmental organizations, and there are 10 in there, when they go into IMO, they have more people in that delegation than Greece, all the shipping nations,
but they cannot
Panama
vote.
and all that.
They cannot vote.
But if you have like 80 people in your delegation in IMO, and Greece has only 7, you can imagine how much influence you're going to have.
IMO listens more to NGOs than to the shipping companies. So when you produce a regulation, for example, it's produced mostly for the environmental NGOs than for the implementation by the shipping companies.
The Greek government does what the Union of Ship Owners tells them to do.
Are you? Oui. took over your office. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem.
And in 99% of the cases, this is a good thing. Do you believe that there is one politician in the world who really cares about the environment?
It's important to have an interview with you because you're the minister in Greece responsible for shipping and...
The most important.
Yes. The what?
The most important minister worldwide.
If it's the biggest...
in terms of shipping.
Yes, I mean,
at least in terms of EU.
At the same time, you have such a big issue as climate change. So
Yes, but we are fully committed. They are taking measures, they are introducing policy without really proof. I mean, okay, we are committed to reduce carbon dioxide emission. Okay, this is an absolute goal for everybody that is involved in this business. But do we have real proof if such a policy will have a positive effect in terms of carbon dioxide emission? This is a question mark.
we went through the official list of advisors that represent Greece at the IMO, and specifically at this environmental committee of the IMO. Almost everybody who is on the list of advisors is has strong ties with the industry. You could have environmental movements, you could have scientists.
I mean,
we're talking about shipping now.
Yes,
so
yes.
I didn't understand the question.
The question is that this is a big public debate about climate change.
I mean, this delegation is focused on shipping matters.
It's the environmental committee.
It's the environmental committee, but specialized for shipping matters. So what is the question actually? IMO is the global regulator for maritime affairs and policies. So, I mean, it is obvious that the delegation must be from the industry. IMO, it's like the United Nations in terms of shipping.
Do you agree that the European Union can regulate on shipping?
IMO is the only global regulator of international shipping.
But are you going or are you not going too slow for the urgency that is there?
IMO is moving very fast.
How Greek is the Greek shipping industry?
100%.
We want to show you something.
This is an interview we did with Mr. Laskaridis, Mr. Panos Laskaridis.
No.
This you need to understand well. People who are in shipping don't need the Greek government, don't need the ministry, don't need the IMO, don't need the prime minister. They can shit on the prime minister. They have no need of the prime minister. Why? Because shipping has nothing to do with Greece. There is nothing that a ship owner will gain from Greece. No cargoes to Greece, no contracts from Greece, nothing in Greece. Only his office is here. 80% has foreign flags, but they don't care about the Greek flag.
Yeah. Do you have any comment on this?
The Greek government has formed a stable institutional framework for the Greek shipping industry in order to have such a huge progress over the past decade.